timers. This is Kathy Acurso with Imbalance Physical Therapy, showing you a quick stretch after you run. Remember, the quick stretch is you're going to be holding your stretch for longer amounts of time, where the dynamic warm-up, you're just going into movements for 2 or 3 seconds. So we're going to start with making sure you take your shoes off, right? Let those feet start to breathe and move around. We're going to go into a downward dog position. So get on your knees and your hands right here. Your hand is open, your palm is completely flat, engaging every single knuckle. Take a nice deep breath, start moving your toes around. And you're going to lift up in the air and keep your knees bent in the beginning. Gentle pulses, just getting ready to move in that position. You can start walking your feet up and down. Here's where you can really get some stretching into your toes. You can move back this way or both feet, right? Just really get in there because that's going to feel really good. Stretching with the bent knee is going to stretch your soleus. You can rock your ankles in and out while you do that. So really get into that bent knee stretch. And going into more of a straight leg where you're pushing your head between your arms, driving your chest towards your knees. And you can also walk in place and shift. So get a little rotation there and get your hips moving. So I'm going to get my hips, I'm pushing my hip down. I'm pushing my hip down here and I'm rotating a little bit. Open up your chest, open up your hips. And you want to breathe. So breathe in through your nose and out through the mouth. And really let yourself hang out here. This is a resting pose in yoga, believe it or not. If you're getting tired, you can come down, take a break, and go back up again. The next position we're going to go into is a half kneel position. You can swing your leg up here. Okay. Really lift yourself up. We talked about lifting that rib cage off of your hips. Pretending there's something pulling you up, making you really long. Take a nice deep breath here. Engage the glute. And move forward till you feel a stretch there. Use your arms to get a little rocking going on. So we're going to go 3-dimensional movements. So forward and back. And then we're going to go sideways. The other way, sideways. That's tight. Ooh. And then we're going to rotate. And here's where you can, if you choose, because you have a 2-minute stretch on each hip every day, you can stay here for 2 minutes, making sure you're engaging the glute, keep checking in, and within that 2 minutes, remember you're in different positions, not just straight forward. You might be shifting over here, rotating over here. Now here's where you can pause the video and go to the other side. Now we're going to go into the next stretch. The next one we're going to do is coming down on the ground. Give your knees a nice hug. Rock a little side to side. Keep your elbows out so you don't fall over. Take your leg here. Grab your ankle and your knee. Not your foot, because you'll torque your foot a little bit. And you're going to pull up toward your chest, staying on your back, trying to roll to your side. And kind of just rock side to side. Get a feel for what's tight. So you can make circles, too. Just getting that movement in there. And I want you to pick at least 2 or 3 spots where you feel it's real tight along the side and the hip. And you're going to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, at least 3 to 5 breaths. You're going to hang out there and then find your next spot. It might be lower here, over here. Just move it around. Explore a little bit. After you've done that, you're going to take your hand, still keeping your leg close to your chest, take your knee and push your knee away. And you're going to say, "Ooh!" And you should say, "Ooh." If you don't have it quite right. Pull the knee in tighter, push away. That's a deep hip rotator that you're getting right there. And so again, find 2 or 3 spots in there that are really tight. It may be back here, maybe up in here, to the side. It actually may even be over here, lining your shoulder and your knee up. And again, 3 to 5 breaths, into the nose, and out through the mouth. And again, you can pause here. You're going to do the other side. And last but not least, we're going to go into the upper spinal twist. You're going to roll onto your side. Use your mat as your guideline of this line here to line your body up. So I'm going to put my hands out here. My knees are going to be stacked, and my hips are going to be at 90, and my knees are at 90 right here. What I want to do is open up here. You can actually hold your knees so you don't shift. So you want to avoid the shifting of the knees and moving like this because you won't really get the stretch. So hold your hand here so your knees stay stacked. Kneecaps are even right here. And when you open up, you turn your head as much as you can without forcing it. Now take a look down. If I look down here, you should try to line up your chest with your hip. And what you might need to do is scoot your shoulders over a little bit, and that will enable you to feel it more between your shoulder blades. And again, I'm going to hold my knees and take a look to make sure my knees are stacked right. And I'm going to turn and breathe. So give yourself a couple breaths there. And then you can start doing some arm movements where I'm letting my arm move around. And I'm also going to move my shoulder in and out. You can see I'm doing this up here so you can see it, but my arm's really back here as I do that. And I'm going to take different angles as I do it too. And I would also do a little bit of opening and closing just to get some of that rotation movement. And again, making sure your knees aren't moving, right? So you can come open and close, right? And with movement, you can stretch overhead. And just explore your body for tight areas. Nobody's going to be the same, feel the same. So everybody has their own tight spots, so you want to make sure you're exploring and moving in and out of positions. And that is your quick stretch. Right on.